Hello everyone, it's Agnes coming to you with another fun project. Actually inspired by that little pot that you see right there. I always wanted to do something, plus I've been going wild with my filter coloring. Today, I do wanted to show you another way of making roses. I don't think I ever made the pre-recorded video, so here it is. I do have 3 coffee filters, and now look, I'm folding it in half only twice, and then I'm going just simply nicely round it off the edges. Just so we can start to create some kind of a profile to our rose. So when you open this right now, all what you're going to have is like literally 4-leaf clover right there. Okay, so then you take one out of those 3 back, and you just going to cut on the angle, right the tip of it, to create that little opening. And then as you do this, you of course gotta cut it on the side, all 3 of them, just right to the center. So here we go. Now we're going to start to have fun. Now I do want to actually couple of them make on a floral wire. So I just cut a little piece, and I'm going to just wrap it up with my tape. I'm usually making my flowers for the application to attach to something, sort of like you guys love to make the bows. But you know what? This one, I do want a little bit of the volume too. So hopefully a couple of those flowers on the wire will help me. So now look what happens. My wire is ready. And now I'm just going to take first the one that has the opening in the middle. So if you fold the roses with me from the book pages or from the felt, this is a very similar way. So I added a little bit of the hot glue, and I'm just going to roll it and create the center of my rose. There is really no, I mean, I usually do not pay attention as I fold it. All what I do is just wrap my wire. And of course, if you do not use your wire, you just simply wrap the same way as you do the other roses out of different materials. So now I'm taking a second coffee filter that has a similar profile, actually the same. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just folding it and then slightly pinching it. And I'm trying to make sure that my petals that I've created are sort of not really overlapping. So this is all the matter of how you pinch. But even if they do overlap, it is okay, because we can later open up the rose. So now I'm adding another one, and I usually start in a place where the petal, in between the petals from the previous row. So it's again folding it and slightly pinching it. You can mold it as much as you want, depending on what kind of roses you want to do. If you want them more closed or open. So all what I do is just simply add a little dab of the hot glue, and the first rose is sort of done. So now, for the purpose of the project that I wanted to do, I do have the coffee filters that I do wanted to use completely for this project. So I'm folding my green coffee filter right to the smallest triangle, and I'm creating, again, rounding it off, but I'm creating sort of like a spike to see if I can get some kind of leaves out of that. And I do. Maybe not the roses leaves, but they are not going to be really as visible. So all what I'm going to do is, and usually I'm adding the petals onto the sides where are sort of a bare, let's say, where my wrapping did not form the right way. So here we go, it's a first rose. So now let me show you a second way that you could make it. Maybe you're going to find that easier. So I'm starting again the same way with the 3 coffee filters, but I am going to actually start with 2, similar way as I did in the previous one. So that means is I'm folding it twice in half, and I do have the big triangle, and I'm going to again to round it off. And of course, I'm going to have again sort of a 4-leaf clover visible right there. But the second coffee filter, the third coffee filter that I wanted to show you, I just do not want to create no profile whatsoever. But now look what happens. I'm actually doing it again, the same thing, cutting into the center of the first 2 coffee filters. So this one All what I'm doing is just folding it in half and again cutting the tip out of it. And now we're going to continue the same way as we did the previous rows. That means is we are going to cut it again open because it's easier to wrap it, and of course add a little bit of the hot glue to the wire. But it's again, if you do not have a wire, it's still good. You can do it just without anything. Now look what happens when you wrap this way. When you do not have a profile, the center of the rose is a little bit more tighter. I do like that too because it's a bouquet. So my whole point of this project was that little vase. So I'm trying to create a bouquet of a different sort of roses, because even if I don't try, every single time they come out slightly different. And I absolutely love this tea rose color. Is that how you call it? The tea rose, I think, right? Man, I'm just having, issues remembering my words. Okay, so now the rose is done. Again, a little bit of a dab of a hot glue, and it's done. So now let's compare. They look slightly different. As I told you, the one without the profile in the center is a little bit tighter. Okay, so now we have that pot that I love. Actually, I've used it for so many years, but I think it's time to, for this bouquet, just slightly change it. So all what I'm doing right now is using my chalk paint, and I'm just dry brushing it all around, not trying to completely cover the black. Of course, there's going to be no project if the glorious gold is not in a place. So again, doing the same thing, dabbing a little bit of the gold all around my freshly dry painted pot. Just I do wanted to have, all those three colors and have that sort of a rusticy look. I think I am getting actually to the point is where I actually do like it. Now look at this. It does still show a little bit of a gray, shows a little bit of a white, and of course shows my gold. Well, here I go again. I do have my little felting pad that is actually not usable anymore. So you know me, I love to recycle. Fold it in half, hot glue with the corners, even though they melted slightly. But I'm praying that that's going to stay. So as you can see, I'm using first the roses that do have the wire, and then the rest of them I've made, and obviously I wasn't making them with you. I'm just going to slightly hot glue it all around. And I'm not really worried about how close my flowers are to each other, because I am going to fill this out with more of the coffee filters that imitates the leaves. Okay, so my little pot is filling up with my roses, and I actually do like what I see, but I wish that I had a little bit of a deeper tones of my greens, just to bring out a little bit of the drama. So, well, they are not doing it for me as much, but let's just try. We'll just cut again the leaves. And the way I'm going to cut these leaves this time is I'm just going to fold it the same way and create that 4-leaf clover. And so because I do want those leaves to be bigger, and I'm just going to insert for now. I'm not going to hot glue it yet because I'm still playing around. Later, you see, like all of a sudden when you bring some green, things are breaking up a bit. But I am positive if I would have had a little bit more deeper tones of a green, that would have looked even better. So I'm bringing a little bit of my Dollar Tree picks into the assembly, and I'm adding those little white long pieces. I've actually loved how whimsical the effect they bring to my bouquet. So I'm just going to cut them actually in half because they were too long, so I can have more of those. As I am adding all those pieces right to my bouquet, my eyes are just going all over the place trying to figure out if I can bring any different flowers. So I brought another pick from Dollar Tree, and I thought that I'm going to like it, and no, I actually do not like it. So let's try another piece from that pick that I was already using, if that's going to work. because I am looking for the deeper tones. But you know what? Rest assured, don't leave me yet. We are going to be coloring the coffee filters in a bit because, oh, here we go. I found the darker ones. So I'm going to color with you towards the end of this video some coffee filters just to show you how I do it. So I found the darker ones, and I feel that those will make it. And I cut them again into the 4-leaf clover. And now I'm going to insert even more. And I actually do like what I see. Of course, I need to push it a little bit more. Of course, a little bit of the green, and my complete, the look of my flowers is completely changing, and I actually do love it. So now it's time to make them more uniform. But before I do this, now look what I have. I have me some green paint that I mixed with the water, and of course I saved. Now I'm just going to dip my coffee filters, but now look how I do it. I don't dip them all the way because I do like the variation on the leaf. So I only dip it on the side, and I'm going to let the dye just work its way to the places. See, all of a sudden it's not white. So that was similar to the one I've been using. Now I'm going to take another bunch, and I'm not coloring them separately. I'm putting them in a bunch. So if you do want a variation, you only dip either the middle of the coffee filter, or you dip the back. But I do not want no more variation. I want to submerge those coffee filters and make sure that this color is completely saturated. So now look, I think they are pretty deep. There's some variation, but some of them I'm just going to rinse off in the water just to show you how they come out, because when they dry, usually the coffee filters become slightly lighter. So now look the difference. See, the one on the left they were not rinsed. The one on the top, now here we go. Agnes is cleaning her stuff now and trying to see if I can actually look at this. I'm even adding the rinse water, and my jar is full again. Yay, no more coffee filters. So here I have the ones that I dipped partially. That's the one that I did not rinse. No, that's with the rinsed one, and then not rinsed, and that's the first one. So I'm going to show you later how they dried. But now here is my bouquet, the one we were just making. I absolutely love every single bit of it. They do really look like roses. So I really hope that I inspired you to take your coffee filters, go to the Dollar Tree. Now look how stunning that looks. By the way, that was actually from my follower, that little Mackenzie child egg that I've got. So I really hope that I inspired you to go ahead and take the coffee filters and put them into use and create the pretty bouquets. So if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to pass it along. Thanks for watching. Bye.